Warning. On this podcast, we take the cases seriously, but not ourselves.
Although, we may attempt to lighten the mood at times.
Our episodes contain graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. You've done karaoke a few times. Once or twice in your day, haven't you?
I have.
And did you enjoy it?
Well, I'm pissed out of my head.
So you
usually.
enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get to that point, when you've drank that much, you don't care.
Every note sounds good.
You don't care what anyone else thinks.
And what was your song of choice? Or did you mix it up a bit?
If there's more than one on stage, we've done Arctic Monkeys.
Bet that you look good on dance floor.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Oasis.
Yeah. Wonderwall, is it?
On my own. Oh yeah, Wonderwall.
Yeah, of course.
On my own, Leon.
What?
Leon, When You Believe. Did that one.
That an X Factor fella?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm never into X Factor.
I think that's the only song he released.
Yeah, not my scene.
But it was a banger.
You have to be into X Factor if you're a Brit, though.
Yes.
It's part of the law.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're British, X Factor, Pop Idol, Britain's Got Talent, and then you'd get onto your soaps as well.
Yeah.
You have to.
I was into soaps for what we all go through a phase of soaps. You know.
Yeah. I even had a spat where I was watching Hollyoaks.
Same. I went through that dark phase in my life too. No, I was going to say to a karaoke, I've never done karaoke. It's not my scene. Now, I take your point. Maybe if I was, catastrophically pissed out of my skull. Possibly, never say never.
So for bonus content, if you can get us to 1,000 Patreon members,
yeah,
I will spend that money just to get Megan poisoned, essentially, with the amount of alcohol, just to get a song out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make that promise now. Now, what I was going to say to you with karaoke, so not really my scene, but I get, people having a laugh, having a drink, bit of fun.
You know what karaoke means?
Like fucking empty orchestra or something.
Empty orchestra.
Yeah. The point that I was going to make, there's certain people who like to do karaoke.
Yeah.
That I'm not okay with. There are certain people who constantly suggest karaoke because they know they're a good singer and they want to be the standout person. Karaoke is not for that.
Yeah, I take your point, but it's quite simple. If you don't like karaoke, don't go.
What are you talking about?
Like,
I don't like karaoke. And
if you don't like bowling, you won't go to a bowling alley.
Yeah.
So you don't have to listen to karaoke.
What's one got to do with the other?
I don't know. I thought I had a point.
No, I'm not saying karaoke needs to be eradicated. I don't have an issue with someone doing it just because it's not my scene. What I'm taking issue with is if you have a group of people going to karaoke, yeah?
Yeah.
Or the idea is floated as one of the things to do that evening.
Yeah.
There's always one fucker who knows they've got a good voice.
Yeah.
And will push karaoke because they want to be the star of the night.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get a fucking gig singing somewhere? Why are you relying on karaoke? Just to make your friends feel like shite. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you've just said, it's not about being a good singer. It's about getting up there after you've had one too many.
Yeah.
And belting out fucking, well, preferably not Wonderwall, but you know what I mean. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Belting out Whitney Houston and you haven't got any business belting out Whitney Houston.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going near a song like that.
No, well, I will if we get 1,000.
1,000 patrons, you're going to go for Whitney Houston?
No, I probably won't go for Whitney. I wouldn't do that to myself or our listeners.
I'll pick a song where it's singing and rapping. So it's the rap's coming.
Can I do that Irish song? The Tell Me Ma When I Come. Do that one. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, okay.
Queen of Belfast City, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay. There's no rapping in that one though.
May as well be how fast they're fucking speaking. I can't do like a rock or metal one because you just won't let me.
A popular one for the Irish on karaoke.
For the Irish, yeah.
The Cause.
You have a thing about the singer of the chorus.
Well,
So
she looks like thee.
You're going to try and dress me up as her.
Well, I don't have to do too much.
Yeah.
Like, no, but that's not. I'm just saying that's the popular one on karaoke.
If you were to go to karaoke now, what would you pick?
Luke Combs.
Yeah, fucking. I don't even know why I asked. I saw that coming.
Luke Combs, One Too Many. Fucking belter of a song.
Okay, if we reach 1,000 Patreon members, we'll go to karaoke.
Yeah.
I'll sing a country song. You have to sing a rock or a metal song.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, you got to give the people something.
You fucking ruined it. No. I will go on and I will do Luke Combs, One Too Many.
No, but no one cares.
I wouldn't even need to look at the screen.
But they know you. They already know you like and you're going to enjoy it. They want to see us squirm. I'll show up in a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and I'll put some eyeliner on you. I'll get you some fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you do country, I can get you kitted up in my Carhartt fucking gear.
No, I will go full stereotypical country. I'll be in double denim, cowboy boots, cowboy hat.
Not an American flag bikini.
Maybe underneath my double denim shirt.
Right, American flag bikini top.
Yeah.
With denim shorts.
Right.
But when I say shorts, they're more like fucking knickers.
I don't need to be flossing while I'm trying to do karaoke. Do you know what I mean?
And then cowboy boots.
Yeah.
You got to have a piece of straw hanging out your gob and all.
Well, actually, can I have some dip? And I'll just keep spitting in between choruses.
Yeah. Right. So we have a shout out.
We do indeed.
So this week we have Jerry.
Jerry, but without the E and I instead of the Y.
So it's Jerry.
Jerry with an I.
Like
I went around the house to say that, didn't I?
Jerry Adams.
Jerry Adams.
Yeah.
Jerry Adams. Except it's not Jerry Adams.
What?
It's not actually Jerry Adams.
I
It's just Jerry.
hope not.
It's just Jerry with an I.
Yeah.
Jerry can.
Jerry McCann.
No. Not Jerry McCann.
Jerry McCann.
Not Jerry McCann.
You fucking walked me into that one with a Jerry can. As soon as you said that. Oh, God. So this is the most offensive one. Jerry Adams and Jerry McCann.
It's just Jerry. I need to stop with the accent now because it's not Jerry. It's not Jerry. You can't say
Jerry Adams.
You can't say, I'm trying to. It's very difficult to say Jerry. It's very difficult to say Jerry Adams without saying Jerry Adams.
Yeah.
So you didn't know who Jerry Adams...
Why are you pulling a balaclava out?
Well, you didn't know who Jerry Adams was before moving to Ireland.
No.
You do now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Jerry Adams.
Yeah. So quick backstory. It was my first job when I moved over here, and there was a company name. What was 3 letters? It was G.
It was initials.
Yeah. And there was a G in it. That's all I remember. And Megan messaged me. I was sat in a truck with two other lads, and Megan messaged me and said, "What does that stand for?" So I asked the 2 lads, and they said Jerry Adams. So I just messaged her back saying Jerry Adams, and she went, "Who was that?"
Who are you with?
Yeah.
I know it was someone Irish who said it. That wasn't coming from you. Jerry Adams. So thank you, Jerry, not McCann or Adams. We appreciate you. And as always, we got to do our shameless plug now, don't we?
Yeah.
If you guys want your episodes early and ad-free, head on over to Patreon and join Not Jerry Adams. Also, let's get the bonus content. Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
And don't forget the fabulous shout-out either. If you want to be referred to, quite often offensively,
Yeah.
head on over.
Yeah.
If not, rate and review, lads. Come on.
So, what you got for us today?
Today we're going to be talking about Paul Dennis Reid.
I think I've heard of a Dennis Reid. I don't know a Paul Dennis Reid.
In your personal life?
I've no idea. Dennis Reid. I know that name. I don't know why. Okay.
That's not the most uncommon of names, first or second.
Yeah, I could be thinking of Mike Reid.
Who's Mike Reid?
What?
Comedian? Your man, he was in EastEnders. That fella.
Mike Reid?
Yeah.
No. Mike... Oh, is that Mike Reid?
He was a comedian and he was also in EastEnders, right?
Who's the guy in Oliver Twist?
What?
The pisshead in Oliver Twist.
Oh, I don't know.
And he was on Parkinson's show. And he showed up absolutely hammered. And he was singing on stage, stamping his feet and stuff.
He's been to the karaoke one too many times. Forgot where he was.
Well, hopefully someone can tell me who that was. Mike Reid? No, Mike Reid is EastEnders. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, like I said, it's not the most uncommon name, you know. There could be two. Could be three. Anyway, Paul Dennis Reid. Paul Dennis Reid was born on the 12th of November 1957 in Richland Hills, Texas. He was the youngest of three kids with two older sisters, and his parents divorced when he was 3 years old.
2 Christmases? 2 Christmases, but there is some doom and gloom because he had 2 older sisters.
Right.
I would hate that growing up.
What, specifically sisters or?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because both of us are the younger
You know
kids.
they'd have ganged up and beat the shit out of him.
Well, we also don't know because both of us have brothers, so.
Yeah. I bet that's hell for a little boy to have 2 older sisters.
Well, it wasn't all he was contending with. His overall upbringing was said to have been unstable. He lived with his father, who was an alcoholic, and due to his father being away for work quite a lot, he and his sister often stayed with their grandmother. And his other sister, she actually stayed with their mother. Now, due to his father's neglectful behaviour, Paul didn't even start school until the age of 7. He struggled academically due to dyslexia and was eventually expelled for truancy, but he did go on to get his GED and attend college. Paul may not have had the easiest childhood, but he was no angel either. It was said that Paul had stole post from his neighbours, clothing from their clothesline, set his grandmother's bed on fire, with her in it, put tacks in her soup, and beat her dog to death with a baseball bat.
Put him down.
So there's that.
Put him down.
Not great. And just to get the animal abuse out of the way now, later in life, he was also said to have thrown his girlfriend's kitten across the room in anger.
Yeah, but they always land on the feet.
Are you justifying throwing a kitten across the room?
Well, I'm not justifying it, but...
I feel like you're making accommodations for throwing a kitten across a room.
Absolutely not. But over beating a dog to death.
Death with a baseball bat, yeah. Oh, it's the lesser of two if you had to.
Yeah.
If I was to force you to pick one, but no one's forcing you. No.
I throw Ty about all the time.
You don't throw him like across the room.
Not across the room, I throw him up in the air.
Yeah, you like pick him up and like hoof him onto the bed or something.
Yeah.
But that's a bit different from like palming a kitten. Do you know what I mean?
Palming?
Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's the image I got. He picked up the kitten and hoofed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not good.
No.
At the age of 8, Paul was sent to a boys' home. After leaving the home, he went on to live with his mother until the age of 16. This was when he was asked to leave after attempting to sexually assault both his sister and mother.
Fucking hell.
This guy's no good.
Just a bit.
In 1980, against the advice of Paul's sister, a woman did marry Paul, but they divorced just 4 years later.
Wonder why.
Well, I'll tell you what else Paul did in the 80s. Robbery, and a lot of it.
Everyone did.
Also cocaine. I'm not saying Paul did, but that was a bit of a thing. Everyone did that in the 80s, didn't they?
I don't think it was big in the 80s, were it?
You don't think cocaine was big in the 80s?
Well, you're asking me, I was born in 89. I didn't do any.
I didn't say you did.
I don't remember anyone doing it around me.
In the first year of your life, you can't quite remember. You can't recall.
I'm talking about childhood. I remember coke being a big thing.
It's massive now.
Oh yeah, no, it's massive
like
now.
It's a fucking 80s over again.
I'd say it's like late 90s, early 2000s when I was seeing it getting passed about.
But that's what you can remember. I'm not saying Coke ever disappeared out of existence. I'm saying the 80s, it was a big thing.
Yeah. It's getting bad in Ireland. No, it's getting bad in Ireland now.
It's always been bad in Ireland, hasn't it?
Meth. From America. Yeah.
Paul, along with another man named Stuart L. Cook, robbed 3 taco places, 3 steakhouses, and a burger joint. In 1983, at the age of 25, Paul was convicted of armed robbery, but just 1 count due to a plea deal. He was sentenced to 20 years and was paroled in 1990 after serving just 7.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Now, not long after this, Paul was involved in a car accident. With a $25,000 settlement in his back pocket, Paul bought himself a guitar and moved to Nashville to pursue his dream of becoming a country music star performing under the stage name Justin Parks.
Right, I know why you've picked this case.
I honestly haven't.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious that the karaoke thing with the country. No, this was just one that I've been wanting to cover for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And then discovered
just happens
randomly, but he did country music.
No, I did know that, but I kind of put it at the back of my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had an issue with him. Do you have an issue with Paul trying to pursue his dream of becoming a country music star?
Absolutely
under
not.
the stage name Justin Parks?
Well, the name is a bit...
The Justin or the Parks?
Parks. Actually, Justin as well. I've never met a Justin who weren't a prick.
Yeah. It's on the list, isn't it?
Yeah. So Stuart.
Now, Neil, you don't have to get too upset about the country music connection because Paul was shit. He wasn't going anywhere in the industry.
He had to sell his banjo.
Well, he had a guitar, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
And because he wasn't doing much, he wasn't making a name for himself, he decided to obtain employment at a Shoney's restaurant, taking on the position of dishwasher. I mean, to be fair, I can't see where Paul was going wrong. He had the guitar, he had the cowboy hat, he even had the tash, Neil.
Right. Did he have the spurs?
Now I'm not sure.
Or the really good, classy belt buckle?
I believe he had a belt buckle.
Okay.
I seen a photo of him in double denim as well. So,
Right.
Again, I'm not quite sure what went wrong.
Right.
By the way, this man has the thickest neck I have ever seen.
Nah.
I know I need to show you a photo. I'm going to show you a photo.
You cannot beat that fucking mugshot, what went round years ago. Do you remember of that black guy?
Yes.
Yeah. It can't be thicker than that. Right, okay.
That's a thick... Right, I'm showing Neil a picture now.
Yeah.
That's a thick neck. Is it not?
It's the same width as his head.
Yes.
All the way down.
Yes. And he's also got quite slim shoulders. So the illusion
Yeah.
is even more so.
Yeah.
He was actually big into his fitness. It was said that he worked out religiously and would spend up to 4 hours a day doing so.
He might have a slim head.
Now, on the 15th of February 1997, Paul was fired from Shoney's after he couldn't control his temper and threw a plate at another employee.
You often do that.
Well, I don't really want to defend Paul
I've had
here.
the urge.
Exactly. I've done my fair share of KP work and I've certainly felt like hurling a few plates.
KP is kitchen porter, for anyone who doesn't know the lingo.
I'd say most people know what KP is.
Well, just in case.
Just in case.
I don't know why they have to call them kitchen porter. Pot wash. Pot washer.
No, I actually prefer KP. It always annoyed me when people say, oh, pot wash.
But that's
KP.
what you're doing. You're washing pots.
Not all pots. If you want to be really fucking pedantic about it, not all pots.
Look, even at home, if you're going to the kitchen because there's dirty plates and dirty
I don't say
cutlery,
that. I say I'm doing the dishes.
No.
I don't say I'm washing the pots.
you wash the pots.
No, I don't. I wash the dishes.
Okay.
I might start saying, next time I go to wash the dish, I'm just going to hop into KP for a sec.
Yeah.
Just to piss you off now. Now, the day following his dismissal, on the 16th of February 1997, Paul, now 39 years old, arrives at a Captain D's restaurant before opening. He tells the manager that he wanted to apply for a job. The manager was 25-year-old Steve Hampton, and that day he was working alongside 16-year-old Sarah Jackson. Once inside the premises, Paul pulls a gun on Steve and Sarah. He guides them into the walk-in fridge and instructs them to lie down on the floor before shooting both of them in the back of the head.
Oh, it went a different way. I thought, as soon as you said...
thought he was going to force him to listen to his country music?
No.
Okay, sorry, go on. Jump the gun.
I thought, as soon as you said 16-year-old Sarah, I was like, right, he's going to kill your man and then,
Attack Sarah.
Yeah.
No, Paul was much more about his robberies.
Right.
In total, Steve had been shot once in the back and twice in the head. Sarah was shot once in the back and 4 times to the head.
What? Fucking overkill.
Yeah. Paul then takes the surveillance footage, $7,000 in takings, and $600 from Steve's wallet. He then uses the money he obtained through the robbery to lease a car. Roughly an hour following the murders, another employee arrives for their shift. When he finds that the door is still locked, he enters a nearby restaurant to phone Captain D's, but there's no answer. He then calls another employee whose father was a police officer. The officer, along with the assistant manager, arrive and soon discover the bodies. The following month, on the evening of the 23rd of March, Paul arrives at a McDonald's where 27-year-old Ronald Santiago, 23-year-old Robert Sewell, and 17-year-old Andrew Brown were on shift. Just after closing, as the employees are out back, Paul approaches armed with a pistol and forces the workers back into the building. He directs Andrea, Robert and Ronald into the storage room where he shoots each of them. Paul attempts to shoot another employee named Jose Antonio Ramirez Gonzalez, but the gun failed to fire. Jose fought back, but Paul stabbed him a total of 17 times before stealing $2,300 and then fleeing the scene.
Fucking hell.
Well, despite Paul's attempts on Jose's life, Jose was still alive. He had actually pretended to be dead in order to avoid any further injury.
See, do you know what I take the biggest issue with this? Right? Crime's crime. But he definitely enjoys the murder part as well. Because the average guy who was at work, if you walked in and went, look, I have a gun, give me everything out of that fucking till, they'd give it you. It's not their money.
Yeah. Also,
they just work there.
Right. So to shoot a person as well, like, so if you're going, let's say you just don't have an issue.
Yeah.
You've complete disregard for a person's life.
Yeah.
And he was going to end their lives and make his robbery more easy or whatever, whatever his thought process was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then you've escalated to stabbing a person 17 times.
Yeah. No,
17 times?
He enjoys the murder.
100%. Paul does. Now, after Paul left, Jose manages to get to the phone and call emergency services. And Jose does survive the attack.
Fair play.
Well, fair play to him. And also because of this, Jose was able to provide a description of the robbing murderous bastard. Dark hair, baseball cap, and a devious-looking moustache.
And a thick fucking neck.
I also don't believe Jose said the devious part. I'm adding that for dramatic effect. He didn't mention the neck.
See, I would.
Someone does later on.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I was fucking so happy because I'm like, why is, the neck?
Yeah.
It's a very distinct
His
feature
neck
on
was
this
like
man.
my thigh.
Honestly? With this being the second murder robbery of a fast food restaurant in a short period of time, police were fairly certain that these attacks were connected. Then, on the evening of the 23rd of April, 1997, 21-year-old Angela Holmes and 16-year-old Michelle Mace were working the closing shift at a Baskin-Robbins. As they finish up for the day, Paul appears at the front door. After allowing him to enter the premises, presumably under the guise of applying for a job, Paul then forces both Angela and Michelle out of the building and into his vehicle. Now, what's even more devastating is that around this time, while they were closing up, Michelle's brother Craig had actually arrived to pick her up from work. He waited in the car park for 15 minutes before going in to check on her, but by then, it was too late.
Yeah.
When Craig entered the building, he looked around and it was clear that something was wrong. The freezer had been left open, the cash register was also open and emptied, and both of their purses were still there. Craig then decides to call the police. They found that about $1,500 had been stolen from the business, but nothing had been taken from either of the girls' bags. The following day, Angela and Michelle's bodies were found in the Dunbar Cave State Park. They had been left in the water, their hands bound, stabbed multiple times, and their throats slit.
See, he's changing, isn't he?
Exactly, like you said, he's enjoying the murder.
Yeah.
One stab wound to Angela's neck, quote, went all the way to her backbone. One of the stab wounds to Michelle's consisted of 3 changes in direction, so essentially a sawing motion. It's believed that both Angela and Michelle would have spent between 5 and 15 minutes bleeding out.
Fucking hell.
So, exactly as you've just said, this fucker is really escalating, and it doesn't seem to be just about robbery anymore. He's enjoying the thrill.
Yeah.
He's enjoying murdering these people. And as I'm sure you can imagine, this would have been a very scary time for those working in the fast food industry in this area. A lot of these restaurants started to close early as a precaution, and police began to patrol the area more frequently. Employees of fast food restaurants were given decals to add to their rear window, and this was in order to identify any out-of-place vehicles in the vicinity of these restaurants.
It's a good idea. I just hope the decal sticks to the inside. So you could just peel it off and then stick it on your own car.
You could.
If it's on the outside.
I'm hoping they thought of that. When you say decal, you do think outside, don't you?
Yeah, but not when it's a window decal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually inside, so I'm hoping.
It's just the word decal. I always think of like bodywork, you know what I mean?
You think of like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go faster, stripes and all that. Look at me talking about cars again.
Yeah.
Let's not bring up sports again. By the way, lads, none of you have told me what squash means or what squash is. I still don't know what and I'm not looking it up. Because I know you're going to be like, oh, just fucking Google it. No, out of principle, I won't.
Yeah.
Yous all wanted to talk about what fucking handball was and was it racquetball? There's quite a few we mentioned. None of yous will address squash.
Yeah. What size of badminton net is?
You are right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as high as a volleyball, but it is definitely higher than a tennis one.
Well, we used a volleyball net.
Oh. Just go fuck myself. Now, on the 1st of April, Paul arrives at the home of 45-year-old Mitch Roberts. And Mitch had been Paul's manager at Shoney's.
Oh, shit.
Paul demanded that Mitch rehire him. And when Mitch refused to do so, Paul pulls out a gun and a pair of handcuffs. Mitch runs back into his home where he locks the door and calls the police. Paul then flees the scene. So
It's
a bit kind of...
It's weird.
Yeah.
He don't think things through.
No,
He's not very thorough.
I feel like Mitch was very like, the fuck I am, and Paul kind of froze. He wasn't quite sure what to do. That's kind of how I envision this, because it's very odd that Paul's kind of like, here's a handcuff, or here's a set of handcuffs, here's a gun, and then Mitch is like, no. Yeah. And he's like, oh, shit, okay. I'll just be heading on then. Yeah. 2 days later, on the 3rd of June, Paul is arrested. So, not just was that just a weird fucking interaction he had, but it also led to his fucking arrest. Now, during questioning, it didn't take long for detectives to piece together that Paul very well may be the fast food killer. With his employment history and his previous convictions, and also fingerprints being taken and compared to the items found at the crime scene, it wasn't looking good for Paul. In the median of Ellington Parkway, Steve Hampton, the manager of Captain D's, his license and video rental card were found with Paul's fingerprints on them.
So, can I just quickly say, this is something I've got in my head at the minute. You know, to do with the whole death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been offed at 16. Look at all these lives, what have fucking could have been saved. Like, at 16, he showed he'd got nothing. He was an evil little bastard.
At 16, he was getting thrown out of the house for attempting to sexually assault his sister and mother.
Yeah, but all the stuff he'd done before that as well.
Yeah.
They should have offed him then.
Who should have?
Them. The fucking government.
Now, back in the restaurant, there was also shoe prints found which did match a pair of shoes which Paul had previously owned. Police also tried to link him to various other robberies which resulted in murder across Illinois, Texas, and Tennessee. This includes the infamous yogurt shop murders.
Yogurt.
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 I'm not saying yogurt.
Yogurt shop.
I'm not from the fucking sticks.
It's not
Yogurt.
a sticks.
Fucking yogurt.
You're going to upset a lot of Brits.
Be upset. I'm not going to say yogurt. Now, the yogurt shop murders.
Never heard of it, but go on.
Last year, have you not?
No.
Okay, well, last year, police did identify serial rapist and killer Robert Eugene Brasher as the perpetrator of the yogurt shop murders. But that gobshite did die by suicide in 1999. So we can't pin that one on Paul.
Wait, there was a bloke going round to just yogurt shops?
No, it was one yogurt shop.
Okay.
Upon the news of Paul's arrest, Deanna Hampton, the wife of Steve Hampton, said, quote, "I'm angry, but now I've got somebody to direct my anger to." Two witnesses were able to identify Paul as the man who had entered Captain D's the night before to inquire about a job. They also noted that he had said he worked in Shoney's just down the road. There was another man who had passed by the restaurant the morning of the murders and noticed Paul's car, a light blue 1988 Ford Escort with damage to the front left side.
They were a good fucking car. Escorts.
Were they?
Yeah.
Not making them anymore.
Escorts? No, fucking Focus. I think Focus took over Escorts.
The man said that he had particularly noticed the car because it was, quote, parked at a funny angle towards the rear of the building. As well as the damage to the vehicle, of course, damage which had previously been documented by an insurance company on the 3rd of February 1997. Another man said that he had also witnessed Paul as he was walking past. He said that they caught each other's eye, and as soon as Paul saw him, he dipped his head back down, and the man just felt it was a bit sus.
You're like, look, fucking neck on him.
The witness noted that the man was tall, muscular, had a full head of dark, slicked back hair, dark eyes, and that he wore a white shirt, dark pants, and white but not new tennis shoes, and also his large neck.
The fuck are tennis shoes?
Like, kind of like runners kind of thing. Kind of like Keds or that kind of thing.
Kind of like what?
Keds.
Keds? Never heard of them either. Slazenger, I've heard of that one.
I have to say, I think that description is fucking hilarious. Like, overall, the description of Paul is, generally speaking, you know, it's positive, attractive, sort of tall, dark, handsome sound to it. And then it's like, but you'd want to see the fucking neck on him.
Yeah.
By the way, this guy, given the very detailed, you know, semi-attractive description of Paul, when he heard the news of the murders, he contacted police twice about the man he had seen, but they never called him back. He called again after seeing Paul's photo on the news following his arrest.
He's like, I fucking told you.
I mean, this is at the first murder.
Yeah.
Or murder, should I say. So, kind of a big fuck up here, lads.
Yeah.
In the case of the murders of Angela and Michelle, who worked at Baskin-Robbins, well, as Paul had kidnapped them, there was DNA evidence found in his car, and their blood was also found on Paul's shoes. There's also the fact that he used his credit card to pay for fuel near the location of where the bodies were found, which placed him at the scene at the correct time.
It's not fucking right, is it?
How in the fuck are you going to steal all this money and then pay for fuel with your credit card?
And not buy a new pair of shoes? Walking around with blood on his shoes.
Well, I wonder if that's the same pair of shoes that they could not, like Paul had previously owned.
But yeah, he's robbing all this money. Buy yourself some shoes.
Oh, he's a fucking dumbass, isn't he? As for the McDonald's case, there wasn't actually much evidence to link Paul to these murders, but there was a survivor. Jose was able to identify Paul as the mustached assailant. Again, Paul buddy, not looking good for you.
Do you know something else he could have done between the murders? Shaved his stosh.
No, but it was a good tash.
Get rid of the Ronnie.
Yeah, but you know, not everyone has the same level of dedication as Crippen.
Like, you don't... Out of all the cases you've told me, not one male fucking serial killer has done this. Our facial hair grows within days. So you could go and do a murder with a full beard, shave it, wait a couple of days, fucking do another one with stubble, do another one with a goatee, do another one with a tash.
Do you know what it is? Like, if a guy has a full beard, if they shave it, like, you wouldn't necessarily recognise him.
No.
It can completely change how someone looks.
Yeah.
So
how come I hadn't heard of that yet?
Well, Crippen. Like I've just said.
What do you mean, Crippen?
Crippen shaved off his tash and grew a beard.
Yeah. Just to escape. I'm talking about you're active, you want to carry on murdering.
You mean during the murder?
Yeah. Between murders.
Yeah.
So one murder you've got a tash, another murder you've got a goatee, another murder you've got clean shaven. Another one you got stubble, another one you got a full beard. It's a different guy in every mugshot, in every sketch.
I'm just getting the image of someone putting the glasses on with a tash in the nose.
Yeah.
That's where my mind's going. Paul was tried for the 7 murders over 3 trials, and this was the first murder trial in Tennessee to be broadcast live. And again, Jose, he did testify against Paul.
That man with that neck did it.
And the moustache, don't forget the moustache.
Yeah, and the moustache.
Devious. But there was a question over whether Paul was competent to stand trial. His defence claimed that Paul had a, quote, broken brain due to brain damage that he had sustained as a child.
Not as much as that fucking kitten.
At the age of 5, Paul was hit in the head with a brick. In 1971, he fractured his skull in a mini bike accident. Another time, he was struck by a car while riding his bike, and his head went through the windshield of a car.
He needs to be a fucking introvert.
And finally, he suffered a concussion due to the car accident he was in 1990.
Right, stay in the house and use public transport when needed.
This fucking guy, Neil, he's nearly got as many head injuries as you.
I was
He's
waiting
coming for your crown.
I was waiting for it.
Dr. Pamela Auble, a neuropsychologist who specialises in brain abnormalities, she testified that she found evidence of brain damage, particularly in the left frontal lobe, which caused, quote, significant mental disorder, impairing, quote, his behaviour in a pervasive way. MRI and PET scans also showed that the left side of his brain was atrophied. With that said, many felt that Paul's behaviour was performative. During his competency trial for armed robbery in 1984, the prosecutor, Brian Johnson, recalled that whenever the jury was in the room, Paul was acting the bollocks. He would fall backwards out of his chair, shoot paper balls into the air with a rubber band, and even made a paper hat, which he then placed on top of his attorney's head. But as soon as the jury left the room, Paul just stopped doing these things. After his conviction, Paul wrote a letter to the prosecutor to apologise for his behaviour in the court. He explained that he had done so because he felt threatened in prison. Brian said that the letter was written in a logical manner and it was not bizarre or unreadable.
What do you mean it's not unreadable?
Meaning it was very kind of well written, put together. It wasn't consistent with Paul's previous kind of erratic behaviour.
Right.
Dr. Helen Mayberg, a professor of psychiatry and neurology at the University of Toronto, also reviewed the MRI and PET scans of Paul's brain. She agreed that they did show evidence of abnormality to the left side of the temporal lobe, but that these abnormalities were congenital and not medically known to be associated with schizophrenia or the commission of premeditated murder. Which, okay, I think it's something to consider, but I think more so when it comes to factoring into why, rather than whether he should or shouldn't stand trial.
Yeah.
You know, when it's the case of someone living in a state of, you know, like altered reality, the likes of Richard Chase or Vincent Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way.
Vincent Lee, which one's that?
That was the Greyhound bus.
Right, okay.
Case. There were some dueling opinions among the mortals on that one. There really was.
Was between us. Me and you.
Well, yeah. very definitely. Which, by the way, we love that. We want to hear your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, for what seems to be for the sake of financial gain, Paul then went on to abduct 2 girls, slit their throats, and leave their bodies in a state park. One of which was just 16 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can imagine the horror of being one of these girls, watching him do this, and knowing that you're next.
Yeah. It's a bit like, was it Suff? Or was it Speck? When he'd get a girl.
Richard Speck, the nurses in the house, and it's one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just pulling them out of the room. Yeah.
Like we said earlier, clearly Paul was enjoying this. It was getting more sadistic as he went on. And you have to remember as well, this with the girls, yes, it was the most calculated and brutal, but it is also one of 3. One of 3 robberies turned murder.
Yeah.
And also, why in the name of fuck, if your intent was monetary gain, would you feel the need to kidnap this 21-year-old and 16-year-old? Like,
yeah.
What?
Well, that's what I mean. It was the murder part.
He was enjoying it.
Yeah.
This was how the prosecution saw it. Because of his extreme cruelty, as well as his repeated offences, they felt that he should receive the death penalty.
Yep.
Paul described himself as having bipolar disorder, and when he was admitted to a Texas prison medical unit, it was said, quote, "This patient was quite psychotic at the time of admission, and it took him about 6 months to improve. He used to be quite grandiose, with pressured speech and hallucinations, and the symptoms were consistent with either schizophrenic disorder or manic depressive psychosis." Forensic psychiatrist Dr. George Woods testified for the defence and stated that Paul claimed a military arm called Scientific Technology was monitoring and scripting his every move. He said that Paul told him that his lawyers were actually actors.
Yeah. Right. So you know how he himself said, "I have bipolar."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know the American healthcare is expensive, but he was making a killing with these robberies. At what point was he trying to get tested and get medicated for bipolar disorder?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like Paul picked a disorder which he thought would fit and he could maneuver around that, you know. Dr. William Bennett, a professor in the Department of Psychiatry at Vanderbilt University School of Medicine, said that Paul had a history of fabricating his delusions.
Go away.
He believed that Paul was suffering from antisocial personality disorder, a tendency to malinger or feign mental illness and delusional paranoia.
In other words, a twat.
Basically. He also said that Paul is a, quote, very affable, friendly person who likes to be friendly and chat about things. In a sense, his being friendly might be perceived as being mildly inappropriate in that it goes a little beyond sort of the business purpose of the meeting, but I just think that's the way he likes to be. He said that Paul, quote, presents himself in a very positive light, in a very upbeat light, and that he likes to be perceived as being a healthy, intact person. He, quote, cons people and he doesn't show his full deck or his full hand. That he tries to manipulate people in one way or the other. And I think that happens frequently, and I suppose that anybody that has to deal with him has to keep that in mind.
He's definitely not playing with a full deck. That I do agree with.
Well, he's not saying that. He's saying he's not showing his full hand.
Yeah, I'm just playing on the words.
A brick to the head will do that to you. Forensic psychiatrist Priscilla Ray said, quote, "It appears that his behaviour in the past has been that of one attempting to portray himself as mentally ill in order to manipulate the systems." Dr. Daniel Martel, a forensic neuropsychologist, concluded that Paul suffers from a mild neurocognitive disorder, antisocial personality disorder, and a delusion disorder. But he also said that these disorders have not substantially impaired Paul's judgment or his capacity to conform to the law and know right from wrong. So essentially, Paul's dealing with a few things, but he's acting the bollocks.
Yeah.
During the trial, Steve Hampton's wife, Deanna Hampton, gave a victim impact statement. She spoke of how her husband's death not only affected her, but their 3 children. She spoke of how he was a good father and how the loss had caused her to withdraw from everyone, even her children. She said that she and the children sought counselling and feared that they may never recover. She spoke of how their oldest child had become withdrawn, just as she had. How her middle child, a daughter, asked who would walk her down the aisle now that her father is gone. And how their youngest child now associates his birthday with his father's death, as they had only celebrated his birthday the night before the murder. And although it may pale in comparison to the loss, there's also the financial strain which the family were now facing. Sarah Jackson's father also spoke. He described Sarah as an intelligent girl who loved children. He then went on to describe the guilt that he felt. The guilt of allowing Sarah to work that day. Sarah was not usually allowed to work on Sundays, but as she was saving up for a CD player for her car, her parents had allowed her to pick up extra shifts. Her brother said that he was extremely angry and that his heart had become hardened as a result of his sister's death. Her father stated that, quote, "Part of me has died, and also that the family's relationship is now broken."
Yeah, you hear that a lot, don't you? When there's been a death, especially when it's something sudden like murder.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden the family just falls apart. They don't get on, they can't get over it, and they just end up breaking up.
Well, from those two different accounts, it's, completely different roles in the family. We're hearing about, Sarah, who's the 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And then we're hearing about Steve, who is the father and the husband.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fucking matter. It's ripping you apart no matter what.
Yeah.
Paul was found guilty on 7 counts of first-degree murder. 2 counts on the 20th of April 1999 for the murders of Sarah and Steve. 2 counts on the 22nd of September 1999 for the murders of Angela and Michelle. And 3 counts on the 27th of May 2000 for the murders of Andrea, Robert and Ronald. Paul was sentenced to 7 death sentences, the most ever given to one individual in the state of Tennessee. His execution was stayed multiple times due to Paul's mental capability being brought back into question, as well as an investigation into Tennessee's lethal injection methods. Ultimately, it didn't matter, as in October of 2013, Paul was hospitalised, and on the 1st of November 2013, Paul died from complications due to pneumonia, heart failure and upper respiratory issues, 11 days before his 56th birthday. In this case, we didn't really get a chance to get to know any of those who lost their lives as a result of Paul's greed and disregard for others. And so, just to remind us, these people were Steve Hampton, 25 years old, Sarah Jackson, 16 years old, Andrea Brown, 17 years old, Robert Sewell, 23 years old, Ronald Santiago, 27 years old, Angela Holmes, 21 years old, Michelle Mace, 16 years old. And let's not forget about Jose Antonio Ramirez Gonzalez, who did survive and went on to help in reminding Paul that there are consequences for your actions. Well, that is the case of Paul Dennis Reid, also known as the fast food killer. Neil, thoughts?
I've got a feeling this is going to be a controversial one, because there seems to be a lot of talk about his mental health and, whether he should be, first degree, second degree. I don't know if I'm looking at it too black and white.
Well, you never do that.
No.
It'd be very unusual for you.
Yeah. But I think, right, there is so many people out there with mental illness, whether it's medicated or it's not medicated, and they haven't fucking gone out killing people, fucking slitting the throats, fucking robbing, fucking beating a dog to fucking death. Like, me personally, I don't think that should come into play as much as it fucking does. It's like, look, did he kill 7 people? Yes. Execute him. Done. Like, it's got nothing to do with whether he's got bipolar or not. There's people out there with bipolar. They don't fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people who've come forward and said, I'm sexually attracted to children. I don't want to be. Please help me. Like, you hear of it all the time. It's not
It's not an excuse, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've killed 7 people. You're executed. Done.
Yeah, it's right. It's recognizing that poor mental health can play a role.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, you need to take accountability for your well-being and get the help you need.
Well, that's what I said at the start. I'm like, he's making all this money on the robberies.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got no excuse. If you thought you've got something wrong with you and you wanted to fix it,
yeah,
you go and get the fucking help. If you don't want to go and get the help, it's because you're enjoying what you're fucking doing.
Well,
You're using it as an excuse.
But I mean, there is some people, and I'm not trying to say, oh, well, that's all right then. But there are people who don't want to get help. They don't want to accept there's something wrong with them. Paul is quite interesting because he, you know, from how people felt, some of the psychologists speaking to him,
Yeah.
you know, saying that Paul wanted to be perceived as a healthy, intact person.
Yeah.
You know, so when it suited him, he would play up, but then he also didn't want to be perceived, like, I want to be seen as smart enough that I'm manipulating this. You know, he was very kind of conflicting in his behavior.
But the other thing I was going to say is, you know, so when they're out and they're free and they're doing all these crimes, you know, they don't give a shit about the fucking mental health. But then once they get caught and they're on fucking trial, then it all comes out. They're all like, oh, well, you know, I've got bipolar. I didn't mean to do it. Yeah. Fuck off. No. Don't wesh with me. You're executed. Done.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it is a difficult topic in that, you know, you never want to demonize people who are going through mental health issues.
Yeah.
And you don't want to kind of inexplicably link it with people carrying out assaults, murders, whatever, because that's just not fucking true. It's not the case.
Yeah.
But oftentimes we can see it overlap when it's not being taken care of. Is the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I try to be careful of that.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of Paul, because I completely get what you're saying. I think in the case of Paul, I don't want to downplay him getting smacked in the fucking head with a brick. I really want to know, did a brick fall on him or did someone throw it at him?
No,
what happened there?
Someone, I'm telling you now, all them things what happened to him, that was people who were like, there's something not fucking right. Yeah. I don't want him to get older.
Right, but the brick was when he was 5.
Yeah.
So was that like, was this like, you know, a mate was like, and like threw a brick at his head? What happened? Well,
you have to be very upset to fucking throw a brick at someone.
Yeah.
Especially a 5-year-old.
Yeah. You do, yeah. Let's hope it was another 5-year-old acting the prick.
Another 5-year-old is not picking a brick up and throwing it.
So who do you think threw a brick at his head? Or did it fall?
It could have fell off scaffolding or something.
You think it fell?
Another kid, like a 5-year-old, is not like I'm picturing a red house brick.
Yeah.
Which is probably the lightest kind.
I'm imagining him getting like clotheslined by a brick. It's just like the fucking head goes, then the body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old is not picking, like I said, a red house brick I'd probably say is the lightest one. A 5-year-old is not picking that up and hurling it at someone's fucking head.
What about if it was in their hand and they just smacked him on the head with it?
You said, oh, yeah.
There's a few different, you know, how did it happen with a brick?
I don't know if a 5-year-old would be able to pick up an house brick.
Oh, they would. They're not that heavy.
They're 5 years old, Megan.
Pick up a brick?
You would struggle now.
You're not talking about a fucking cinder block. I'm talking about a brick.
I know what a brick is. Yeah.
You must have been a very weak 5-year-old. You're not like me. You're not as sturdy as me, apparently. Yeah. Sturdy at 5 I was.
Yeah.
No, but back to Paul. What I was going to say is, you know, concussions, the head injuries, yeah. And there was evidence of brain damage.
Yeah.
Grand.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you know, like knowing right from wrong, they believe he did. I think overall, Paul was just a fucking prick who didn't want to work for a living.
Yep.
And then along the way of doing all these shitty things, he started to enjoy inflicting pain and suffering.
Yeah. That's why it was escalating.
But like I said, I don't want to downplay the issues relating to brain damage, there was the country music aspect in there, so clearly there was something going on.
Wow.
I'm going to get death threats now, aren't I?
You're going to upset a lot of fucking listeners with that comment. Wow.
Guitar. You know what? If anyone was like, you're being really offensive right now, like if I put on like a country accent.
Yeah.
Yee, I'd be like, get fucked, right?
Yeah.
I actually couldn't give a shite. Having an Irish accent, it's one of the most mimicked accents in the fucking world. And as far as English accents go, you get mimicked in your own house.
Yeah. Everywhere I go.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to like, concussions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I've gone through concussions.
I'm keeping an eye on you, yeah.
You constantly tell me you have doubts about me. But have I gone out and fucking butchered anyone?
Not yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you still think there's time?
I was going to say there's hope for you yet. Not hope. No, but I mean, that is something to worry about, do you not think? Multiple head injuries? Is that not something that concerns you?
My head's hard. Like...
What?
Even you've said how hard my head is.
I'm pretty convinced your parents put a steel plate in there and you don't remember.
Yeah.
It's shockingly hard.
It bounces off everything.
Yeah. I tell you what else I take away from this case. What was his fucking deal with fast food places?
Well, you said you were into fitness and that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll target them.
Oh, you think it was like you fucking pricks.
Yeah.
You're tempting me too much.
Could be. Or is it easy because it's always young fucking staff? Like, that was something else I noticed. You'd got 2 young females closing. If I owned a business, that'd never happen.
Yeah.
I would never have 2 young females closing on their own. That'd never happen.
But it was that, like, Baskin Robbins is just like an ice cream place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't associate it as much. Maybe I'm wrong. Like a McDonald's, you're kind of going to get more people acting the bollocks. And what about with Denny's and Applebee's? I always hear that they're shitholes. We don't have them over here, but I feel like there's more drama there. But the fast food thing, right? So in May of 1997, this was during Paul's father's funeral. Paul was said to have worn a Burger King crown and called himself King Paul. He also paired this with a lime green shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes.
That's mental.
A little bit, yeah. The combo's no good.
So yeah, he clearly...
There's a fast food thing there. Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Like, obviously he wasn't that keen on his father, I would assume, to be doing this at the funeral. And, I can't really blame him for what we know about him.
Yeah.
But again, it's the fast food thing coming in. And I assume he went to Burger King for food and didn't just rob the crown off the counter. They usually keep him behind the desk, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a fast food thing. Mad into it he was.
Mad. So, oddity.
Poena Cullei.
That wine.
No. You'll be happy to know, Neil, that we're back talking about the Romans.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly, we're talking about another horrific thing that they did.
There's a few.
There's
a few to choose from.
A couple, Several, even. So, Poena Cullei means penalty of the sack or punishment of the sack.
What sack? The sack.
Attached to your body?
Yes.
No, not your testicles. This was a punishment for parricide, which is the act of killing one's parents. As is evident from the title, the punishment involved a sack, specifically the condemned being sewn into a sack alongside animals.
Oh, like rats and snakes and that.
Yes. So, quote, the penalty of parricide, as prescribed by our ancestors, is that the culprit shall be beaten with rods stained with his blood, and then shall be sewn up in a sack with a dog, a cock, a viper, and an ape, and the bag cast into the depths of the river. That is to say, if the sea is near at hand, otherwise it should be thrown to wild beasts. So, where we're at
A
here.
cock?
You could, yeah, a rooster.
Oh,
Where we're at is basically you could have 7 shades of shite knocked out of you by a chimp, experience the ferocious bite of a dog, or maybe you're subjected to the agonizing pain as a snake's venom seeps into your body and your blood begins to coagulate, or pecked by a chicken
pecked by a cock.
and surely cause quite a bit of skin irritation.
Mm.
Essentially, you know, if the animal doesn't kill you or at least break the skin, you're going to drown.
Yeah.
Or suffocate, as the sacks were made with leather, so they could have made it watertight.
Oh, so he's...
I believe they favoured suffocation,
Right.
but drowning was still an option.
Yeah.
The fucking Romans. They got the job done.
Pecked by a cock.
Well, this is it. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. They may have been twisted, sadistic bastards, but they did give it the theatrical edge, didn't they?
Oh, no.
They were showmen.
Yeah, they did. But the thing is, they wanted it to be so outrageous.
A deterrent.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be fair now, it wasn't just the Romans. It was said that this punishment was carried out in various countries, including the Netherlands, France, and Spain. And it did have a resurgence in the Middle Ages, and is recorded as last having been carried out in Germany in the early 1700s.
Well,
So really it's just Europeans in general. Fuckers.
I can tell you now, quite confidently, that if that was still happening now, to this day, you would have no kids killing the parents because they had the PlayStation took off them and shit like that. Because you said this was to do with, this punishment was because you killed your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen now.
It would still happen.
It would not.
There's a reason why these punishments exist, because people have done them. And chances are it's carried out more than this one occasion. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, it happened in multiple countries after the initial boom of fucking into a sack with a load of animals.
Yeah.
Now, the Germans were also said to have favoured a linen sack over leather. So they were more of a fan of drowning over suffocation, it seems. They also weren't as over the top with their choice of animals. It was more likely a cat or a dog or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the thought of getting fucked in a sack and poked by a cock. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've just took it in a different angle completely, you know, a different direction.
No. You get fucked in a sack
Yeah.
and then poked by a cock.
Yeah.
I'm not about that.
There's another joke there about being in the sack. There's actually multiple jokes about sack.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like I should have given you a heads up with this one before so you could have come with a list.
Yeah.
What do you think of that one then?
It's not for me.
Not for you.
No. Firing squad.
It's just, you know, it's just the Romans with the animals all the time. It kind of pisses me off. I mean, that's assuming they did it, because you got to bear in mind they're taking from stuff and piecing it together to the best of their ability. They're pretty sure this happened, but they can't say for sure.
Yeah.
The Rome, you know. But from what we know of them,
Yeah.
I'd say it's fucking likely.
Well, very likely. Like,
Very.
even Brits, you know, we were doing shit like that. You know, we dig big holes in ground, chuck you in it, and there'd be loads of venomous snakes in that pit. So they'd just fucking all...
Have a go at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did it as well with animals.
You're wanting the credit for it now.
No,
Now you're getting a bit kind of like getting your back up. We did it too.
We didn't do it first, but we did do it.
Yeah. On the coattails.